Okay, the date today is February 8th, 2013. I'm making this video because I don't really know. I just kind of got inspired to do it. Basically what I'm gonna do is look at some video games that I got because I used to like really be into video games and stuff, but in the past, uh, see how long is it? Well, about half a month ago I really just lost interest in a bunch of things, and video games was one of them. Uh, Fortunately or unfortunately, that's yet to be determined, but I guess I'm just going over these old games, just, I don't know, maybe nostalgia, maybe, cause, like, I could look back on this one day and see what I thought now or something. Yeah, I mean, I'm filming this with a pretty bad quality camera too, so not really expecting phenomenal quality, but hopefully it'll be worth it enough, and we'll find this rewatchable one day. So, this will probably be like, yeah, I don't even know how long. I might just stop this somewhere before I'm planning on it, but for now, let's go. I'm gonna start off with Nintendo GameCube games because I still have the original packaging for this, and my first system was actually, not system, but my first non-handheld console was an N64, but I don't really have the boxes. I just have the the cartridges, and they're scattered all over places. And yeah, I have the original boxes for the GameCube games. One thing I should mention, when I say I used to be interested in video games, that it's kind of can be taken differently. Well, I'm not really a gamer because I'm more of a Nintendo fanboy, because I mean, I have nothing against the other game companies, but I never wanted another console. Or, I mean, I did, but you know, back then when I was really into games, I just, it was there was only an option for one system, so I always went with Nintendo just because I knew I liked it. But I never asked for another game system other than Nintendo. I had two PlayStation 1s given to me, but those are the only non-Nintendo game consoles I've owned. And like I said, the N64 games, I don't even know where like half of them are, but I might, try to scrounge them up and look at them as well. But for now, I'll start this with GameCube. I'll start this with GameCube because they're right here, and this is where I'm set up to record this with very crappy quality camera. So here we go. Spider-Man, Player's Choice. I can't remember when I got my GameCube. I think it was 2001. Looking for a date somewhere on here. Oh, it says 2001 right there. I didn't think they had Player's Choice that early, but I don't really know what I'm talking about anymore, so could be wrong about that. I mean, this came with my GameCube, and I played quite a bit of it. I remember not getting too far, being pretty bad at the game, but I kind of liked it for what it was. The combat was pretty fun, but I was terrible at it, and that's like my least favorite GameCube game. Ooh, Dragon Ball Z Budokai. I remember after I got my GameCube and I saw the commercial for Budokai for PS2, I was so jealous and mad. I mean, the graphics were just absolutely astounding looking compared to Ultimate Battle 22 for the PlayStation, which is the only non-Nintendo console I've ever had, which I've already established. But finally this came out for GameCube, and it was, I mean, I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, so obviously this is going to be a great game. And it's a great fighting game from what I remember. Had pretty good music. Apparently this was got at EB Games. This was actually my cousin's. I don't know how I ended up with it. I think we traded games, but he also lost interest in games and ended up giving them to me, I guess. So yeah, overall this is... I have these games stacked in here in order of my preference, so I don't know why this one's so low. Maybe... yeah, I really don't know. This is amazing. not amazing, but for back at the time it was awesome. It was awesome because, like, you could just... man, I played this so much. Both this and my cousin brought his PS2 over and we played it at that a lot, but this I could actually, like, play it by myself and get good at it, so yeah, pretty fun. I think my favorite characters using in this were Piccolo and Vegeta, maybe? Yeah. Moving on. Ed, Edd and Eddy, Misadventures. One of the last games I got for my GameCube before I stopped playing games the first time. Yeah, I've done this quite a few times before, which is why I'm documenting this now, because I get the feeling it may happen again in the future. I'll get back into games and then look at this or some... anyway. I was a Ed, Edd and Eddy fan, and I didn't have internet, so I wasn't aware of what the game would really be, and I wasn't disappointed at the time. I thought it was, you know, a good game, because I didn't really have that many. I back then when I had this, I had this unique style. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I didn't really... I was bad at games, I guess, and when this came out, maybe it had a difficulty that made it easy to... boy, I can't talk. It's not that, I just don't know how to describe it, really. Looking at it now, it's like one of the worst games I own, but back then I had quite a bit of fun, which is really weird, all things considered. Yeah. One thing I did like was my best friend Plank music video, because I didn't have internet at the time, so I couldn't watch it. So, yeah. Not a really great game, but worth existing, I suppose. Mario Party 5. This cover, seeing it in magazines, because again I had no internet, and catalogs and stuff, made me want a GameCube like more than any system ever. I don't know what it is, but I've heard other people say this, just like the cover it makes you want to play it, and when you do, it's like just so mediocre and stuff. Which at the time, I had a lot of fun playing this. I played it so much, and I actually bugged my friends to play it with me all the time, and looking back now, that they were really annoyed, probably. I liked the mash the A button mini games, but because I always won somehow, I actually used this GameCube controller, and the A button still works really well. I took really good care of it, because I've seen a lot of other GameCube controllers that, like, if you buy one from GameStop, you press the A button and it barely moves. I mean, it's like pressing the C stick. It hardly does anything, but it still makes that nice clicking sound. Oh man, I could just press these buttons all day. How did I get on that topic? Not much to say about the game other than a bunch of mini games which I don't remember because I haven't played this since probably 2005. Yeah, nothing else to say.